Good morning. I hope I have not overwhelmed you with all the various announcements that I have posted, but they are important and communicate a lot. And so I encourage you to read, listen, whatever, so that you are in touch and we are on the same page as we work together. Talking about working together, a week ago Sunday, my wife and I got up, we got up about 5 to depart from where we stayed overnight to drive 3 hours to Denver, Colorado to attend worship. We had a long day of driving and we decided to divide it into 3 segments of 3 hours each. I had looked up on the internet the churches affiliated with the Evangelical Free Church with whom I am affiliated to attend, and to make it short, we ended up at this specific church. What a blessing as we were looking at this class. Here is a pastor who founded this church in 1984, 35 years ago, and is ministering in the inner city of Denver and having a life-changing experience. It's called Open Door Fellowships. You'll hear more about it. But I just said, Jesus, you were directing that I didn't accept the first 2 churches that I found and went to that one. The first church didn't have a website, so that discouraged me. And the second one was Chinese, and I thought, well, that would be a good experience. And then the website was in Chinese, and I thought, this is a little more than what I can take. So we went to the third that seemed to be fairly close to the interstate. And, God blessed us. Oh, wow. And I hope this course is a blessing to you also. I am challenging you to think. The assignment for this first week is to build a biblical theology of helping. So many times our response to helping is not consider the scripture, but it is a purely an emotional response. The person sitting along by the stoplight begging for money, or the person who comes in and says, I need money to pay my rent. They never say anything about helping them to pay for their full screen TV or their gambling debt or the alcohol addiction. I want you to build a biblical theology. Now, Keller chapters 1 to 5 will give you a lot of significant help. Read the introduction and get the whole scope of that. I'm not real excited about the Jacobson book, but the assignment this week is to read the introduction, the orientation, and chapter 2. And then you also have a PDF by DeYoung and Gilbert. So that's that part of it. And then the tough assignment is I'll tell you, it's the thing that I've wrestled with for years, and that is to reconcile Matthew, Luke, well, it's in Matthew 2, Luke 6:30 with James 2:15 and 16, as well as 2 Thessalonians 3:10. I could tell you a lot of stories about how God has used that. So it's a exciting kickoff. I also want to call to your attention, if you looked at the grade weighting, this paper is worth 15% of your final grade. So it's a crucial issue. Now, on the discussion board and on the theology, I do not have a presupposed correct answer that I'm looking at on my hand to say you need to say these things. No, I want you to wrestle with those truths and develop what you begin to think of a biblical philosophy of helping other people. So, and if you bring in other verses in your discussion than the 3 that I happen to mention, that's great. Helping people is a challenging thing, and sometimes people you help really leave you disappointed. I've had people make all sorts of promises, and as soon as I gave them some help, they forgot who I was and where I lived. But that's between them and God. But I also have a personal responsibility to God that I'm a good steward of what He provides for me. You have a fantastic week, and may the Lord bless you as we embark on this exciting study.